हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू एडुटैप। आप सब लोगों को मेरा नमस्कार। टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट द न्यू पैटर्न फॉर आरबीआई ग्रेड बी एग्जामिनेशन. I know the first reaction could have been that, oh, is RBI again introducing a new pattern in 2022? But chill, guys, that is not the agenda. I'm talking about the new pattern that was introduced in RBI Grade B 2021 itself. So, this video shall be helpful to those who are not aware of the new pattern, and anyways who are already aware of the new pattern. This video shall also be helpful to them because I shall also be clearing some doubts which people have with respect to new pattern, and I shall also be talking about that how this new pattern changes your preparation strategy, how does it impacts your preparation so that you can adapt to the new pattern. So let's start, guys. So before I start, I would request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you get continuous update about our videos, and you can also subscribe to our Telegram channel, the link of which is given in the description of this video. So let's talk about the RBI Grade B examination phases first. So there are three phases as usual, what is there since very long. Phase 1, right? Phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 1 we all know is qualifying. Though qualifying seems that no, it is not a big deal, but let me tell you, a lot of people are left out in the race in the phase 1 itself. So it's very competitive. Phase 2 is where your actual marks counts, right? That is, the marks you get in phase 2 will be added to your total marks to come up with the final merit list. And phase 3 is interview, again the marks of which is added to your total marks to prepare the final merit list. So let's start with the phase 1 first. Is there a change in the phase 1 pattern? There is no change in the phase 1 pattern, as in the pattern which was introduced in 2021 is similar to the phase 1 pattern that was there in 2019. So what is the pattern? The pattern is that there are 4 sections consisting of general awareness, reasoning, English language and quantitative aptitude. Now these 4 sections have total of 200 questions worth 200 marks. So each question is of 1 mark. Now each section has different number of questions. General awareness has 80 questions worth 80 marks. Reasoning has 60 questions worth 60 marks. English language has 30 questions worth 30 marks. Quantitative aptitude has again 30 questions worth 30 marks. Right. And is there a sectional timing? The answer is yes, there is a sectional timing. For general awareness section, there is a time of 25 minutes. For reasoning, 45 minutes. For English and Quant, there is 25 minutes each to complete these sections, which makes it a total of 120 minutes. Right. So I hope you would have understood till here. 200 marks, 200 questions, each question worth 1 mark, 4 sections, GA of 80 marks, right? Reasoning of 60 marks, English language of 30 marks and QA of 30 marks. And there is a sectional timing too, which is very important for you to understand, because in exam you need to get as many marks within these sectional timings. So is there any negative marking? The answer is yes, there is negative marking, which is 0.25. That is 1/4 of the marks that has been allotted to the question, right? What about cutoffs? Are there any sectional cutoffs or only overall cutoffs? No, there are sectional cutoffs also. Sectional cutoff means that you need to score a minimum number of marks that are decided as sectional cutoff, right? And there is an overall cutoff that you anyways need to clear. I'll explain you. Suppose the sectional cutoff in quant is say 5 marks, right? And the overall cutoff is say around 120 marks. Now in exam, suppose you score say 130 marks. You score 130 marks in exam, your overall cutoff is clear. You should feel that you have cleared the exam. But suppose in quant you score only 4 marks. Then would you be able to clear phase 1? The answer is no, because you have not cleared sectional cutoff. So to qualify phase 1, you need to clear the sectional cutoffs as well as the overall cutoffs. Are these marks added in your final score? The answer is no. These marks are not added in the final score. This you shall know, right? But nonetheless, do not take phase 1 lightly. It's very competitive. I would say more than 90% of the candidates who appear for this exam are not able to clear phase 1 because they take very less candidates for phase 2, right? So I hope everything is clear about RBI Grade B examination pattern for phase 1. Now let's move to phase 2. The remarkable change that has been done in the pattern is with respect to phase 2. Earlier, phase 2 used to be mostly objective, with paper for economic and social issues and paper for finance and management being totally objective, with a total of around 200 marks cumulatively for these two subjects. And there was a paper for descriptive English, which was descriptive writing based paper of 100 marks. That was the old pattern, right? So 3 papers worth 300 marks. Out of that, 200 marks were contributed by objective papers and 100 marks by descriptive English paper. Now the pattern has changed. The papers remain the same. You have paper 1, which is economic and social issues. You have paper 2, which is descriptive English writing, and paper 3, finance and management. So the papers remain the same as compared to the old pattern, right? But within these papers, the scheme has changed. Earlier, the economic and social issues paper used to be totally objective, worth 100 marks, where they used to ask you 65 questions, a mix of 1 markers and 2 markers, making it a total of 100 marks. But now the scheme has changed. Now the paper is 50% objective type, that is 50 marks out of 100 would be contributed by objective questions, and rest 50% is descriptive type, that is rest 50 marks out of 100 marks would be contributed by descriptive paper. Right? Now this is the contribution with respect to marks. But what is the exact scheme of the objective paper? In objective paper, what do you get is, you get 30 questions, right, which contributes basically 50 marks. So these 30 questions in 30 minutes will be a mixture of 1 marker and 2 markers. 20 questions would be 2 marker, 10 questions would be 1 marker. I repeat, in objective paper you will get 30 questions in 30 minutes worth 50 marks. 20 questions would be 2 markers and rest 10 questions would be 1 marker. What about the descriptive part, that is the remaining 50% part of the paper? Here the time given is 90 minutes, understandably so, because this is something which takes time to write. So within these 90 minutes you will be attempting descriptive paper of 50 marks. What is the scheme of descriptive paper? So here you would be basically given 6 questions, right? Out of that you will be required to attempt 4 questions. So you are being given choice here. Now the 4 questions that you attempt, out of this 2 questions would be 15 mark and 2 questions would be 10 mark. So 15 into 2, 30, and 10 into 2, 20 makes it a total of 50 marks. There is a word limit also to these questions. 15 marker question, each 15 marker question has to be written in a word limit of 600 marks, right? I know this is huge, but that is what has been mentioned in the official notification released by RBI. So and we have to live with it. Then there are 10 marker questions which has a word limit of 400 words. So overall you can say you have to write 600 into 2, that is 1200 words, and 400 into 2, that is 800 words, and you plus that, you have to write around 2000 words in 90 minutes, which is a huge task, which means you should have a lot of practice of descriptive writing, right? But anyways, agenda is to make you aware of the pattern. So I hope the pattern is clear with respect to the paper 1. Now I'll jump to paper 3 instead of going to paper 2, because the pattern of paper 3 is almost similar to what we discussed in paper 1. Paper 3 is related to finance and management. Here also 50% paper would be objective type, 50% descriptive type. In the objective type, 30 questions in 30 minutes you have to attempt paper worth 50 marks, right? And these 30 questions which you have to attempt in 30 minutes worth 50 marks, these would be divided into 20 questions of 2 marker each and 10 questions of 1 marker each. In the descriptive paper, again the same scheme is there. 90 minutes will be there to complete the paper worth 50 marks. Under these 90 minutes you would be given 6 questions. You have to attempt 4 questions out of that. Among these 4 questions, 2 questions would be 15 mark each, 2 questions would be 10 mark each. For 15 mark the word limit would be 600, for 10 marker the word limit would be 400. right? So the subject has changed from ESI to FM in paper 3, but the scheme entirely remains the same. Now what about paper 2, descriptive English writing? Now with respect to paper 2, which is descriptive English writing, there is no change in the pattern. What used to be there in 2020 or rather 2019, because that was the last time when exam was held, remains the same in 2021. Right, so here you would be given 90 minutes to complete paper worth 100 marks. You would be given 3 questions in these 90 minutes. They basically consist of essay writing, then précis writing, and then comprehension. Right, essay writing is worth 40 marks, précis writing is worth 30 marks, and comprehension is again worth 30 marks, making it a total of 100 marks. So I hope everything is clear about phase 2. In essay, the word limit, in descriptive English essay writing, the word limit varies from say 300 to 400. Sometimes it is 300, sometimes it is 350. So it keeps on varying, but the overall range is, you can say, between 300 to 400. Right? So I hope you are very much clear about the pattern of phase 2 RBI grade B examination. Now let's move to interview. Now again, interview, which I call phase 3 of your examination, lot of changes have been introduced. First is psychometric assessment has been introduced. What is psychometric assessment? See, psychometric assessment is basically of 2 types. Either they can check your aptitude or they can check your behavioral traits. In this year, psychometric assessment, they didn't check your aptitude because they have already checked in phase 1 by testing you on your quant skills, reasoning skills, etc. So the psychometric assessment that was conducted this year mainly focused on your behavioral traits, as in what motivates you. Do you have leadership traits in you? Can you work in a team? Are you a go-getter? All these kind of personality traits are tested so that they are sure that whomever they are hiring, I mean, he fits into the culture of the organization. He can contribute to the organization. Right, so a lot of behavioral traits are tested. For example, your honesty, your integrity, your commitment to the organization. So all these can be tested. So that was about psychometric assessment. Now one of the myth regarding psychometric assessment is that it does not carries any marks, and hence, I mean, people do not care much about psychometric assessment. But the point is, guys, if anyways RBI is conducting psychometric assessment, and even if it is not having any separate marks, but surely whatever the results that come out of your psychometric assessment, they will affect your interview marks, or at least whatever you perform in your psychometric assessment, they will try to make sure in your interview whether you stand up to those values or not. Right, so psychometric assessment needs to be taken seriously. You need to know yourself. The next change that has been introduced in phase 3, that is interview part of your examination, is the interview marks itself. Earlier the interview marks were 50, now they have been increased to 75. So this is an increase of 50% marks. From 50 to 75, they have increased the interview marks by 50%. So this is a big change, right? Especially taking into account that 1 year before, that is I would say not 1 year, 2 years before, when the exam was conducted in 2019, during the interview stage, some people were given very low marks, such as 1 or 2 marks or 3 marks in an interview out of 50. So the point I am trying to make is that they are pretty serious about the candidates they are hiring, right? And they are ready to even give 1 mark or 2 mark just to reject a candidate for whatever reason they are feeling that he is not suitable for the job. So interview marks are definitely going to make an impact. You need to prepare for an interview, but yes, there need not be any panic regarding that. You can concentrate on your phase 1, phase 2 preparation, and after that you get sufficient time to prepare for an interview, right? So 75 marks for an interview I told you about. So the total marks, which were earlier used to be 350, now would be 300 contributed by phase 2 and 75 contributed by interview. It would become 375 marks, right? So the final merit list that will come out now will be out of 375 marks, right? Now one very common question which most of the candidates ask is, should we attempt interview in Hindi or English? Or rather, the most common question is there an option to give interview in Hindi? The answer is yes, there is an option. should we opt for interview in Hindi? Will it go against us if we opt for interview in Hindi? My answer is no, guys. See, in an interview, you will be doing more damage by choosing a language in which you are not able to express yourself. If they are giving you an option to give an interview in Hindi, it means they are open to take candidates who can express their views in Hindi. Right? So let us not extrapolate it and make some misconceptions out of that. So if you feel that you are not able to express yourself, you are not able to share your thoughts in English, opt for Hindi. There is nothing wrong in that. And Hindi does not mean that you have to speak Shuddh Hindi. Right? You can speak words like economy or what we learn as we grow up. So Hindi mean English actually. Right? So it's not like you will be required to speak a Shuddh Hindi there. No. It would be a Hindi plus English interview if you opt in Hindi. So please, that's my very serious advice to all of you. In case you are weak in Hindi, some people they are not convent educated, they do not have exposure, but they have very good minds. They are really bright minds, and RBI would love to have those minds. So do not ruin your career, do not ruin this opportunity by opting for interview in English. You can go for interview in Hindi. Right, guys? So what after phase 3? I have nothing to share. I think you will be ready to take a flight if you clear this exam to Chennai, where there is a training center by RBI and you are trained upon various aspects of your job. So various candidates like Komal Khandekar, Thomas Malind from EduTap have got selected. I mean, I've just taken 2 because I do not have space on my screen to share more candidates. But I mean, you need to have that motivation inside you, right? What after I clear? So maybe you can just put yourself into your shoes and think yourself to be at training center at Chennai and enjoying 2 months of training there. That would be the best part of your career in RBI. So that was about basically the change in the pattern at various stages, mainly in phase 2 and the interview. Now, what is the impact on your preparation, right? What is the impact of this changed pattern on your preparation that you need to understand? So I would very briefly put it across because otherwise this video will become really long. First is, guys, since the paper has become descriptive and the interview marks have been increased, you need to have very good analytical knowledge with respect to critical issues, policies and regulations in financial sector, economic sector, politics, social sector. RBI recently transferred a large amount from their contingency fund to Government of India, which is being criticized by many. So you should try to go into the depth of that what exactly was done, what was the issue, why it is being criticized, is it right or wrong in your opinion? Try to form an opinion. That you can only do if you try to analytically analyze the critical issues or the policies or the regulations around you. World Economic Forum recently released a gender gap report in which India has not performed well. Again, you need to analyze that what is our rank, how we are performing, are we going down or are we going up? What are the real issues that are making us go down in the gender gap index? What can be done? What has been done but has not been fruitful till now? So all these you need to understand. You need to analyze. Then only you will be able to form a good opinion, and once you form a good opinion, you will be able to write well in the exam as well as you will be able to perform well in your interview. Similarly, having analytical knowledge is one thing, that okay, you are well read person, you can do a good discussion on any topic, right? But that is about knowledge. Sometimes we have knowledge but we are not able to express ourselves, we are not able to share what we think in a structured manner. That is very important. So ability to express your thoughts in writing or even in speaking during an interview in a coherent and structured manner, this is very, very important, guys. Sometimes you know everything but you do not feel that it is coming out. That happens, right? With most of you it would have happened, and that is the worst time we feel that we should just go out from this place. So it is very important that you learn to articulate, you learn to express yourself. Having knowledge is one thing, but Can you write well using that knowledge? Can you share your thoughts? Can you speak well? Can you discuss with somebody using that knowledge? That needs to be practiced. At least, even if you have do not if you do not have any friend to where you can share your thoughts, as in speaking with him, at least try to write, because when you write, you become good in articulation, you become good in expressing your thoughts. So this is very, very important, you should do, right? And the third part is, guys, it's very important to know the what, why, what, how part of your journey. Why are you preparing for RBI grade B? You might be doing something else. You might be in a banking job, you might be doing UPSC preparation, you might be teaching somewhere. Now you are going for RBI. Why do you want to do that? That must be clear in you, and that must come out as something, as honest answer that has been well analyzed within yourself, that why do I want to do it, right? What part also should be clear to you, that no, yes, I want to do RBI grade B preparation for some reason, but what I will be getting, in which department I want to go, what do I see as my future in RBI, all these needs to be thought upon. So what, why, how, when, all these things around your preparation you should be very clear about, because unless and until you are clear about that right from the start, you will not be able to do maybe justice in your interview or even in your psychometric assessment. So please, please, please do give emphasis on these aspects, right? Whatever we are doing in life, we shall be clear about why we are doing, right? And sometimes you can give honest answers also. I see a lot of people calling us and say, sir, can I mention that I want growth in my career, that's why I want to join RBI. It will be a good salary that I would be given. You can mention that, but try to think that ठीक है, वो मुझे ज़्यादा सैलरी दे रहे हैं, but क्यों दे रहे हैं? ज़्यादा सैलरी के पीछे का रीज़न से सोचो, because the job is much more challenging. The job requires more qualified person, and if you get selected, you will be getting more challenging work, you will have more better peers, राइट? सो अगर आपको लगता है कि कोई आंसर आप जो दे रहे हैं वो फिट नहीं करता है, तो उसके पीछे का रीजन सोचिए. यू विल डेफिनेटली गेट अ बेटर आंसर, राइट? दैट विल हेल्प यू डिसाइड दैट व्हाई आर यू डूइंग दिस, वेयर डू यू वांट टू गो, राइट? So that's it, guys, in this video. I hope I would have answered some of your doubts that might be in your mind with respect to pattern of this examination, and also you would have at least got stimulated that how do you need to change your preparation with respect to this change pattern. So I take your leave now. Have a nice day. Good night. Bye bye.